Alright, we're going. Oh yeah.
Sounds real good.
That's real good.
Welcome
To the podcast.
Hey demons, it's me, your boy.
Don't. Oh my god, what have you done?
When's the last time we recorded?
4.
What? That's like something I would say. You said it so genuinely, like you meant it. Okay. Hey, what's up? Sorry for the weird upload schedule recently. Things have been weird.
We've been busy, boys.
Yeah.
And gals.
Work, you know?
Yeah.
Am I right, fellas?
High five.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Let's start with music.
Okay, you would just jump right into it? Do we have any emails, Josh?
No.
Okay.
But we do have a message over Discord, which I'm not accepting.
You know,
I'm
just
accepting
gonna
anyway.
straight up tell you. I'm just gonna straight up tell you what's going on behind the scenes with Josh because it bears mentioning. All right. So who was it that told us to listen to Pimp a Butterfly and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
That was Splinter the dog.
Cool. Here's the thing. I saw that and I was like, cool. At some point I'll listen to those. Maybe we'll do it for like next week's podcast or something. But then Josh comes in and he's like, we need to listen to 2 songs before we do the podcast. And I had no clue what he was talking about. I was like, 2 songs? Okay. And then he's like, alright, pull up to Pimp a Butterfly and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And it was at this point I realized my good friend Josh might have a learning disability. But yeah, no, you didn't realize they were albums.
Nope.
Full length LPs.
Yep.
So we won't be doing those this week.
I thought they were songs, and I was like, "Oh, cool! We'll just give it a real quick listen before we record. It'll be great."
Yeah.
Then Colin informed me that that's not happening, so we will do that for next week.
Yeah.
Or the week after, depending on how busy we are, and we'll let you know up top.
I'm very curious about both of those albums because I'm told they're both great, but I don't like Kanye usually, and I don't like Kendrick usually.
I'm usually in that boat as well, but I am interested all the same.
So we'll give it a shot. Just saying, I'm not particularly all that into Kendrick Lamar. You know who I am into? Death Grips. And Death Grips have a new single out this week.
Oh my god.
Have you heard the new Death Grips single?
Go home.
Seriously. I'm going to talk about them more and more because these are the weeks leading up to their new album, you know?
I'm not.
I have a new single to discuss. Would you like to discuss
Talk
Death
about
Grips?
it!
Okay.
I don't care.
Have you heard it?
No!
It's called Black Paint.
I know.
So here's the deal.
The first thing you did is text me. They have a new single called Black Paint.
Yeah.
Okay. And?
Well, it's because I told everybody. I'm their promoter now. Even people who don't care about Death Grips. I'm like, guess what?
Oh my god.
There's a Death Grips single out.
Yeah. So
it's.
So what do you think, Colin? What's the rundown on your paint?
I was a bit disappointed with their previous single, Streaky. It was a little boring for my liking, but this one, it's Death Grips for sure. This one's kind of got this punk, this rock vibe to it. It's basically a rock song, not really hip hop. And there's some very heavy, very thick instrumentation, and it's very.
Could we call it rock hop?
Yes, we can if we were not good.
I'm gonna call it rock hop.
There's some. It reminds me of Jenny Death, which was half of the album The Powers That Be, in that it's very heavy, very rock oriented, and very intense. And I like it a lot. And based on the diversity of these two singles, I'm looking forward much more so than usual than I was last week. I'm looking forward to their new album. So that's just a little plug. Death Grip's new album, The Year of the Snitch.
So now this is all gonna tie in together. Watch me do this. Everything's gonna tie in together except for my song of the week.
All right.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, so I showed my dad Death Grips.
Yeah.
He laughed so hard he was crying.
I imagine, yeah.
For like 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it was one of the best things ever. Now watch this tie. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Death Grips, their new album, has the bassist from Tool.
It does.
My dad and I, when I showed him Death Grips, were in a hotel coming in the middle of Northern Invasion. Tool played in Northern Invasion, and last year, or 2 years ago, a band played at Northern Invasion, which will be tied in later. And the only thing that doesn't tie in is my song of the week, which is The Bare Necessities from the Jungle Book.
Okay. That took me off guard. Okay. I was just thinking about the Jungle Book this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you see that trailer for that new...
Nope.
Okay. So, The Bare Necessities. How's that go again? I mean, I know how it goes. I just want you to sing it.
If you didn't say anything, I would have started singing it.
Okay, fair enough. It's a good one.
It is. I'd say give it a listen, but Colin doesn't want to put it in anymore.
Oh, here's the deal. Okay, I'm going to explain this. I'm sorry. I've made a decision. I told you I was going to there's going to be some changes around here. One of them includes I'm not going to do the music clips anymore. The reason's twofold. I told Josh it doubles the amount of time it takes for me to edit the episodes, and that is true. It's not that much effort, to be fair. Even with my busy schedule, I can fit it in, but it's just not working. It's just not working out for me. It's just. And here's the thing, I would keep doing it for sure. I would not get rid of it if it weren't for the fact that every episode we put up gets copyright claimed. Behind the scenes, that was very bad.
There you go.
Every episode we put up gets copyright claimed because of these music clips. Now that's fine because there's no copyright strikes. Remember, it just means we don't own any of these podcasts. They're technically owned by the copyright holders of the songs we use,
which they can't actually do because we're using less than 10 seconds of each song. So
falls under fair use, technically speaking.
So if we actually wanted to keep them,
we could.
In the end, we could fight it and say no, we're not using that much of the song, so it's technically can still be considered ours and fair use. And we are talking about it in a sense that we are
here's the thing.
evaluating and talking about it critically.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It ends up falling under that as well.
And since we give a snippet, then it incentivizes people to look up the song themselves.
Yes.
So it actually spreads the word more than anything else.
So in the end...
I am well within my right, and we are well within our right to do the music clips, but it's just, at the moment, we have no pull as a group of people over these things. Seriously, if companies wanted to just say, no money for you, if we ever got to the point where we're monetizing this thing, then that would mean we've got 30 episodes that are just not monetizable.
And that's not a big deal because these ones are probably not going to be watched nearly as much as anything else.
I'm just saying, I want this podcast to expand. I'd love to do that. But I'd like to go. I would like to see every episode in my video manager without a copyright claim. Just because every time I see that, it's just like, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna say no more of the music clips unless I can find a more creative way to. Unless I get way less busy and find it that I have no problem spending more time on these, and B, I can find a more creative way to implement them that won't get us copyright claimed. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So it's an indefinite removal.
Yeah.
That being said,
what's your song of the week?
my song of the week is Square Hammer by Ghost BC, or whatever they're called.
Which is the other band which we saw in Northern Invasion 2 years ago. You see, it's all connected.
Absolutely.
Go look it up.
Yes, go look it up.
I like that.
It's gonna be weird transitioning to that. Ghost BC or Ghost or whatever they're called.
Just Ghost.
I've seen them. I've heard it both ways.
Just Ghost.
Ghost are a what nationality are they? They're not American. Like Swedish, something like that. I don't know. I think they're Scandinavian.
You keep talking about
maybe they're American with weird accents. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they're a kind of I don't know if I'd say metal.
Yep.
I guess metal.
They're metal.
It's more like Iron Maiden metal though. It's more like on the rock
Swedish.
side of things. Swedish.
They
Okay,
are,
so
they're Swedish.
So I was correct. Very cool. This song's not very heavy, so if you want something, it's pretty listenable. It's pretty fun. So give it a shot.
They were only formed in 2006.
Yeah, they're pretty recent.
They're really new.
Yeah.
And they got awarded for the best metal performance for Cirice, Cirice, which is one of their biggest songs as well, along with Square Hammer and From the Pinnacle to the Pit.
Yeah, all of which are good songs.
Yeah.
So check everything out and support them, because that's all we're doing here. We're just music aggregators here.
Yeah.
I don't know if aggregators is the correct term.
Probably
not actually. So that's music of the week out of the way. I feel kind of guilty that I'm not going to edit the songs in, but copyright. So whatever.
We'll get over it.
Yeah. It's here's the thing. Since the first time I did it and I saw I got a copyright claim, I was like, eventually I want to stop doing this, but I was also like, I think it's really cool that we have the music clips, because it's just like you get a little taste of the music. And then what I did was I showed 30 seconds of each music clip, and then I cut it back to 20, and now I'm just getting rid of it entirely. So sorry about that. I hate the fact that this change makes it easier on me. If it were a change that made things harder on me, I would be like, this is what we're doing. But it's a change that makes things easier on me, and I feel guilty about it. So let me know if you're just absolutely appalled that we're not doing music clips anymore.
Yeah, send it to purplepandapodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. Okay, so that's the thing.
All right,
I've got a album of the week, Josh.
I've got Northern Invasion to talk about.
You want to do
real
that first?
quick? Yeah, I want to do a quick rundown of it.
Good plan. Oh boy. If you didn't see the A24 quest, the window's open, and there's somebody running a band song out there. We may want to close the window.
We may want to.
Wow, that's inconvenient.
That was really funny.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure the mic picked that up pretty well.
I think so.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So I'll give a quick rundown of Northern Invasion 2018, because this is the 4th year it's happened, and this is the 4th year I've gone. I'll list off of some of the notable bands. This is a metal festival, so most of them are metal.
But as of late, they've been getting more like non-metal groups.
Yeah, they've been putting in some different stuff. Yeah. So one of the first bands we saw that was notable was Counterfeit, and they were pretty cool. So if you'd like to check them out,
should be noted, I wasn't there for this.
Yes, that's
'Cause
why I'm doing this.
I have been there for the last 2 years, but I wasn't there for this one.
Yeah. So Counterfeit, if they were kind of this cool metal, they were pretty neat. The Bronx was supposed to be pretty good, but I missed them. They're like this kind of punk band.
Oh, I actually know the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed them.
Cool.
Let's see, Blackstone Cherry. I've talked about them a little bit. They're this nice southern rock. They got a really cool sound to them. They played a really different set this year. You know, usually they'd play their hits. They didn't play any of their big hits. They skipped their first 3 albums entirely. Actually,
Nice.
I was like, wow, which was great for me because I've seen them 3 times. So.
Fair enough.
I saw I Prevail, which was alright. You know, they did a pretty good job. I stopped and looked at Butcher Babies, which is this hardcore screamo duo of these 2 ladies. And they are incredibly brutal, kind of amazing to see, and kind of frightening.
Yeah.
Breaking Benjamin was there.
Oh, cool.
They were very good.
I haven't thought about them since the early 2000s.
I know. They were really good, though. They had a good sound with them. Atreyu. I saw Atreyu, and you know that was another one I hadn't listened to since my childhood, and they did a fantastic job.
Neat.
I saw the end of A Perfect Circle, which they played their big ones that I knew, and that was good. You know, Maynard Keenan doing this good job. Yeah. And then Avenged Sevenfold. I saw Avenged Sevenfold. They were good. They were really good.
Yeah.
That was like the big one that I was like, I want to see Avenged Sevenfold before they die.
I don't know about you. Like, legitimately, I forget what your opinion on them is, but like I'm very unenthused about Avenged Sevenfold. Like, they're okay. They have good songs. I like The Beast and the Harlot and like things from that like era.
Yeah.
But it's like
It's
like when we saw was it Bring Me the Horizon. I was like, this is obviously like in certain circles this is a legendary band, and obviously I should be honored to be in their presence. But we were just watching them and I was like, okay, let's Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah. Avenged Sevenfold, it goes back and forth. Their latest album, The Stage, was very not my thing. But the one before that, Hail to the King, that entire album is really good. I thoroughly like that entire album. And then, you know, Nightmare or whatever the album was before that wasn't fantastic all the way through. There was a couple of decent ones. You know, it's a hit and a miss hit or miss most of the time. Kind of flips back and forth. But there's one entirely solid album from them, and that would be Hail to the King. I really like that album.
Okay. It's just I'm glad you're talking about this stuff because that's like a whole area of music that you're very much into that I never have been. I was kind of into it for a while, but it's like I'm glad that we have variety here and that I'm very happy you're passionate about it because I have zero passion about bands like Avenged Sevenfold, which is kind of what I was getting at.
Well, that's fair. You know, a lot of people, they're like, oh, Bat Country, blah, 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 that's a good one, and then they don't care, which is fair.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that, and I actually believe that Hail to the King is a really solid album all the way through. That might be one of those albums that I could listen to all the way through without skipping.
Okay, cool.
Actually, the deluxe edition has one of my favorite songs on it of all of Avenged Sevenfold. It's called St. James, and it's one of my absolute favorite songs from Avenged Sevenfold ever, and they're never going to play it in concert because it's like the extra track on the deluxe edition of this one album that didn't get as popular as it should have, in my opinion, which is a bummer because, of course, that's the one I wanted to see, and of course they didn't play it. Whatever. But yeah, no, if you get a wild hair, go ahead and look that up too. Anyway, so that was the first day, and then the second day came around, and then we got Whitney Payton, who I listened to.
Whitney Houston. I thought she was dead.
She's a hip hop artist.
Ah, okay.
One of the biggest female hip hop artists as of right now in the Minnesota scene, I guess.
At Northern Invasion.
At Northern Invasion.
Interesting.
Because they've been trying to get into rap and hip hop stuff as well.
Oh yeah, we saw Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, Yella.
Yeah, and it was just the best.
It was awful.
Just the best performance I have ever seen.
It was so
Seriously,
bad.
if you like Yellow Wolf, what is wrong with you?
That's not fair. We haven't actually listened to him. We saw him live and it was bad. But Whitney Payton was surprisingly good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. Spirit Animal, I don't remember a whole lot of. I think... Anyway, whatever. Red Sun Rising. Saw them again. They were good.
Is this a band I've seen?
Yes. They're another southern rock band. They're good.
Okay. I don't recall.
Let's see what else. The Blues Stones. They're like a blues band. They were good. Asking Alexandria was meh.
As always.
My favorite thing about their entire show was they came on, they said, we're going to try our best to keep talking to a minimum, and so we can dish out as many songs as possible. They played their song, and then they're like, all right, how y'all doing out there? And I just sat there, and I went, what?
That's about right.
And he just sat and talked for like 5 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then the funny thing is they're touring with Black Veil Brides. Black Veil Brides comes out, and they just play their entire time. They don't stop and talk at all. So it's very, very different.
Man, Black Veil Brides, man.
I know.
You're bringing me back.
I know. These are bands from my childhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Veil Brides and Asking Alexandria are what they are.
Right.
But Stone Temple Pilots. This is where it gets good, guys.
This is a band I actually really do like.
Yeah. Stone Temple Pilots came on. They were main stage late. And I was like, I don't know. They got a new singer. I hope it's good. And they blew me away.
What's more, their new singers from like a new metal band.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
He blew me away.
All right, cool.
Like, he sounded so good. The performance was so good. The sound was so good. I was blown away. I'm like, this is what I've been telling everybody. If you can see Stone Temple Pilots for a good price somewhere, do it. The new singer's really good. He's really good. Go see him. It's very good.
Fun fact about Scott from Stone Temple Pilots. He died in Minneapolis, I believe. And Abe Anderson. Well, for a second I was like, oh no, I said a full name, but that's his public performer name.
Creator of Muffy.
Yes, Abe Anderson, Big Men's guitarist and nice bassist.
Nice, 3 eyes.
He was. He told me the story. He was like performing like in the same venue where Scott was, and like he died at that venue. So Abe was one of the closest people in the world in proximity wise to Scott as he died, technically speaking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stone Temple Pilots was fantastic. Go see them still. I saw The Used. I didn't know The Used. I guess The Used are big.
I haven't heard of them.
Me neither. They were alright.
Yeah.
The little bit I saw of them. And then I saw Alice in Chains, which they have a new singer as well. Right. And they were fantastic as well. So if you can see Alice in Chains and you like Alice in Chains, go see them. The new singer's great. And then the closer of both of the second night was Tool. And I'm a big Tool fan. I've said this before. And as far as what they did, Maynard Keenan has a horrible, debilitating stage fright. And so he stays in the back in the shadows, which is really weird.
See, I didn't know this.
Yeah. And their entire show was not... usually they'll have cameras pointed at stage and they'll show them on these 2 screens. Yeah. It wasn't that at all. There was no cameras pointed at the stage. All of the screens, because they set up screens behind the band and on the sides, were dedicated towards playing these crazy, weird, psychedelic, horror-driven, nightmare-fueled things.
Right. I'd imagine Tool's quite into that, having seen their music videos. So
they had this crazy video show with their music, which was played live, but you didn't get to really see them unless you were like up front and could see them.
That's interesting.
which was way different than anything I'd seen there previously. And then they brought out these really cool laser shows, and they had smoke everywhere, and the show itself, like the music and the visuals, it was really, really good. Everything fit together really nice. The music was fantastic. Like, sometimes the audio gets a little off on this or that. I thought the audio was almost perfect. Like, the vocals could have been boosted just a little bit, but otherwise it was really, really good.
Like, audio is almost never perfect at, like, those outdoor venues. It's really hard to dial in good audio for those.
What surprised me about Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains and Tool is that they all sounded as good as they did. The audio was great for all three of those.
Cool.
But yeah, no, Tool put on a fantastic show. My dad, who doesn't like Tool, came away going, wow, that was really good.
That's what I did for Godsmack and Shinedown. I was like, I don't really like Shinedown or Godsmack, but after seeing them live, I was like, those are both really great shows.
Yeah.
So, I'll give them that. They put on good live shows.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get a chance to see Tool, I would suggest doing it. Perhaps trying to find them in a smaller venue. I know that'll be really difficult, but if you can, try. Because I think it'd be cooler to be closer. Otherwise, yeah. My big takeaway is if I can see Stone Temple again, I will.
Okay, cool. I'll be on the lookout for tickets, perhaps, if they're in this area again.
Yeah. So that's my quick coverage of Northern Invasion.
I wanted to ask about Maynard being stage shy in Tool. How is he in A Perfect Circle?
It was really interesting. In A Perfect Circle, he has all this heavy makeup, and he's putting on a costume, right?
Right.
And so I'm assuming that helps with that
and
stage
also,
fright.
like there's probably not as huge a crowd for that.
Yeah, it was still pretty big because it was one of the last bands.
Okay.
But he had a wig on with his big dreads that came in front of his face as well. So that probably helped. But the entire time, he's not doing a whole lot.
All right.
Most of the time is he's focusing on singing and not really interacting,
Right.
Because I think that would just be more fear-inducing.
Yeah. I like performing, but if you ask me to like do audience engagement, I cannot.
Yeah.
Like I would be really bad at that kind of thing. So I feel him on that.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy, he's such a big figure and a frontman for a bunch of bands. Like, you think, wow, like, why would you do that? It's like, well, he likes it. He likes doing what he does, even if he doesn't like, crowds.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's interesting.
Also, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money.
Not to say that they're sellouts or anything, but it's like, if you're trying to get a successful band together, touring gets you a lot of money. Yeah. So it's like, even if it's kind of uncomfortable for you, you kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Quick rundown of Northern Invasion.
Cool.
You said you had something on music.
Oh yeah, I've got an album of the week. Real quick, if you're not into like electronic, synthwave, EDM, that kind of thing,
get out.
Yeah, you won't appreciate this, but
I'm kidding. Don't leave.
My album of the week is by Magic Sword. It's called Volume 1. And Magic Sword, the whole idea behind them is they're I don't know if EDM is the correct term. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me. But they're a electronic synthwave retro kind of outrun band. And very 80s style. And they've got this fantasy, like D&D inspired sound. And it's just cheesy in the best possible way. Like, it sounds so genuine and cool.
It sounds like it's from Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like that. So, check it out. It's really cool.
The little bit I heard before we started was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my thing.
Cool. Quick update for next week. We are doing music a little different next week. We will be covering all of Soundgarden.
Yep. Yeah,
just
discography.
Yeah, all 6 studio albums, and if we get time, we'll be covering the EPs as well, but that can be decided a little bit later. And we'll let you know at the top of the episode. So that's the goal for next week. Otherwise, music, I haven't been listening to a whole lot.
Oh,
of
I was
stuff.
I was actually gonna mention Soundgarden. You say Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains are now performing with new singers. I was gonna say I hope that doesn't happen with Soundgarden, but then I thought, wouldn't it be neat if Soundgarden got Zach De La Rocha to be the front man?
What would that be like?
Well, it's equal exchange, you know? Like Chris Cornell fronted Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
So
no, I get it, but what would that be like? Oh,
that'd be.
I mean, you'd have that intensity of the scream, but it wouldn't be like the quality of it wouldn't be the same.
Well, he probably wouldn't rap at all. He would do a grunge thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not a fantastic singer.
Right. Yeah.
So what would that be like?
Don't know.
That'd be crazy.
But yeah, I just thought that's just a weird thought that came in my head, and now I can't stop picturing what Soundgarden would be like if it was fronted by Zach De La Rocha.
They'd have to start a new band.
Yeah.
They'd have to be something.
No,
two words jammed together.
Seriously, in all seriousness, I don't think I want Soundgarden to continue without Chris Cornell, because he was the heart and soul of that band.
Yeah, I really don't think it can.
And I'm kind of upset that Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots are, and I wouldn't have thought that either of them would, but it's that makes me think, what if Soundgarden's the next one to do it, you know?
Well, I mean, the idea is that they want to carry on, because it wasn't just, Scott's band.
Right.
It was Stone Temple Pilots. There's 3 other people that are involved.
And to be fair, Soundgarden's not just Chris's band.
Yeah, it's very true.
There's very good musicians, as in fantastic drummer, fantastic guitarist, fantastic bassists, multiples, they've had several guitarists and they've all been great. And they've had I don't know if they've had, I don't know that much about Soundgarden. I'll know next week. I'll probably look into it, how many drummers, how many guitarists, how many bassists they've had, but a lot of great musicians. That being said, like I said, Chris Cornell is just the main attraction to me. That's just
Kinda.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I want everybody in that band to continue doing stuff, and I want them to continue, making money off of this.
But I also don't want a Prophets of Rage situation, where it's just not good.
Yeah.
Because they force it,
But, they did a really good job with Alice in Chains and Stone Temple. And, I think that, they went through the work to get another singer that sounds that good, that close, that I think it was worth it. Same thing with AC/DC when they got Brian Johnson. I think that since they tried hard enough and found somebody that sounded good enough and could fit the part, that they could continue. And if they didn't, I don't think it would work, and I don't think they would have.
Have you seen or heard anything of Journey with the new singer? Supposedly he's really good.
He sounds exactly
he sounds exactly like Steve
Perry.
Steve Perry, yeah. I haven't actually heard it yet. Supposedly he's what he's not. He's from an Asian country. What was it, Taiwan or Thailand?
Philippines.
Okay.
I believe.
This actually, I might be wrong about this, but what I heard is that he doesn't really speak English, and he kind of learned Journey songs phonetically.
Wow.
I could be wrong about that.
If you're right about that, that's crazy.
and apparently he was in a Journey cover band or something, and that's why he just sounds exactly like...
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even... oh my goodness, Queen. I saw Queen with Adam Lambert. He doesn't match...
Freddie Mercury.
I want to say Brian Mercury. I'm that's not right. Don't say it. Freddie Mercury. He doesn't match, but he is really close, actually. As far as being able to sing like that, he does a fantastic job.
Well, no, see, there's two frames of mind when you replace an iconic singer. It's do you just try to emulate them, or do you try to bring your own flair to it?
Yeah.
And there are bands like Journey that they just try to emulate it to a T. And there are bands like AC/DC where it's like it's similar, but he brings his own flair to it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think AC/DC caught it early enough, and they've been going long enough with this new singer that he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe.
Oh, and by this new singer, you mean Axl Rose, of course. You remember when Axl Rose...
I'm gonna stab you.
You can't stab me. It's the truth.
Doesn't matter. I can still stab you.
Remember when Axl Rose fronted AC/DC?
I do. Yeah, go home.
Oh boy. Oh my god, I hate you so much. I wonder what Slash is up to these days.
No, I'm not talking to you right now.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of different things. You know, honestly, I kind of want Soundgarden to continue as long as they do a good job about going about it. You know, I don't want them to just find any old schlup off the street and pick him up and say, yep, you're a new singer, and then start putting his own style on Chris Cornell's songs, you know?
Right.
Because, I mean, how crappy would that be? You know, try to emulate it if you can. And then maybe, you know, after you've been in the band, you've gained some reputation, then maybe you can put your own things in there. But to mess with somebody else's work kind of like that, it does kind of feel tarnishing.
Okay.
You know?
Well, but it's like, at a certain point, it's like, I guess I agree with you, like, you have to start off and you have to, like, carry on the legacy of the singer, and you have to like, carry on the spirit of the previous work, but... If you, like Brian Johnson, are at a point where you've been with the band so long that you actually... Like,
you are more known.
You're more known. You can start to do your own thing at that point, when you can start to shape what the band sounds like. But, so it's probably a gradual process. Like, if you really just get really comfortable with the band, you can be like, let's introduce some new things, you know, but like you can't come in and change everything all at once.
And on the first album, the first new album with the new singer, there's always going to be something different. He's going to want things to be in a certain range. He's going to want things to sound a certain way, and he's probably going to get a little bit of input anyway from the other members, not taking over the process, but having input.
Right.
But it's all about time and how much, you know, you contribute and how much you're allowed to contribute. So, you know, I want Soundgarden to continue, but I understand why, you know, I see where you're coming from as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just there's certain things that just seem sacred to me, and like the idea that like they're just going to continue on without the presence of Chris Cornell just seems wrong. And just like how Stone Temple Pilots without Scott Weiland just seemed wrong. But then I heard that single they dropped with the new singer, and I was like, this is just Stone Temple Pilots. It sounds exactly how I'd expect Stone Temple Pilots to sound.
Yeah.
The new singer, he's clearly not Scott Weiland, but he's got that spirit of Scott Weiland down, and he's got the style just perfectly down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, cool. And it's like, that's a good way to go about it. But it's like, in the back of my mind, I'm going to be like, it's just not the same, you know?
I mean, it's not.
It's never going to be.
It never will be. You know, my dad always says I would pay so much money to see AC/DC back with Bon Scott. He says that all the time. He's like, oh my god, I would pay so much money if that was possible. And you know what? I would say the exact same thing. Rush is talking about continuing doing touring, and I would pay so much money to see the original three.
Right.
You know, but Neil Peart just can't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And you know, in the end of things, you know, I'm never gonna get to see Rush drum with Neil Peart, play with Neil Peart.
Are they planning on continuing on without Neil Peart, like a new drummer?
Yeah.
It's
sad, but I'm glad they are.
Because it's like, honestly, when people think of Rush, they think of the bass, but I'm thinking the drums have just as much personality, if not more so. Those Neil Peart drum solos with like the 18,000 toms.
I'm a fighter that all three of those, Alex Lifeson, Geddy Lee, and Neil Peart, are a near godly trio.
They're all indispensable.
Yeah.
Indisposable. Like they're all important to the sound. I feel like people don't really focus on the guitar and drums as much as they do the bass, because Geddy Lee's the front man. He gets most of the attention.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, the bass is fantastic, but so is the guitar, and so is the drums especially.
Well, and what's really funny is that the guitarist is the one most left out in this picture.
Yeah.
Most people don't know Alex Lifeson at all.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when people know Rush, they're like, oh yeah, it's Geddy Lee, Neil Peart, and the other guy.
Yeah.
And it's the exact opposite of most rock bands. Where it's like most people know the guitarist, and it's like, I don't know the bassist or the drummer.
And I mean, it's kind of sad, he's such an amazing guitarist, but he's just outshined by this incredible drum and bass players.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so good that they make it so you guys don't even learn who the guitarist is.
I mean, like, Geddy's the lead, and in Alex is his name, right?
Yeah, Alex Lifeson.
Alex is the rhythm.
Yeah,
he's the backup.
Basically.
It's like flipped on its head.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's really sad though. When I heard that Neil Peart has arthritis and not that he doesn't, but he can't do it anymore.
Oh, yeah, and that was the same deal with Brian Johnson. Isn't he like, if he keeps doing this in like a couple of years, he'll be legally deaf?
Yeah, he will be deaf.
Yeah,
that's why he had to stop doing his tour, which I was lucky enough to see them right before he stopped doing the tour and swapped out with Axl Rose.
Yeah, and the same deal happened with us in Soundgarden.
Yeah.
And to this day, I feel so blessed that we could see Soundgarden and Chris Cornell like mere days before he passed away.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and then my dad saw Tom Petty before Tom Petty died.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, I would have loved to see Tom Petty.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that just, it tells you got to see those older bands before they're not around anymore.
Well, as we've covered the gambit of old bands that are trying to move on without essential members, I guess we should talk about a topic we haven't talked about before. What's been going on with Fleetwood Mac. Lindsey Buckingham has been fired from the band, and they're replacing him with not one but two new guitarists.
All right.
By your face, you don't seem all that interested in this. But...
I don't really know anything about the members of Fleetwood Mac. I just know a couple songs.
Well, they're...
more than a couple, but I know the songs more than the band.
The idea behind... Well, the basic idea we have, as the public have about Fleetwood Mac is, they don't get along very well. You got Mick Fleetwood and you got Lindsey Buckingham, and Lindsey Buckingham is supposedly a pompous ass. And Mick Fleetwood is the drummer, and I forget the names of the other people, whatever. But the point is, they've had their share of issues, and when Rumors came out, apparently it was like they were just on the verge of breaking up because they hated each other so much, even while they were working on Rumors.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that they're still a group after all this time, but apparently, and the thing that Lindsey Buckingham got kicked out over was pretty minor. It was about tour dates. They had differences in ideas about tour dates. He wanted to do certain set dates, and they wanted to do another set dates, or like locations, and that they kicked him out over that. So something tells me there's a little more to it than that.
Or it's just been building for that long.
Yeah, exactly. That was just the breaking point.
That was the piece of hay, that piece of straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, that may be it. So, yeah, they're going to continue on with two new guitarists.
All right.
So that's... Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, I guess.
Will. Have any other music to talk about? We went pretty long on the music.
I really want to see Slash. I want to see him.
That would be cool.
I really do. And Miles Kennedy.
That'd be cool to see. I don't know how Slash tours, because like Miles Kennedy and the
Conspirators and then Alter Bridge.
It's like I don't get how Slash as an entity works. Like, he did 2 albums with Miles Kennedy, but that's, like, not his band, strictly speaking. He's still a solo act. He frequently collaborates with them.
It's really funny because the band's called Slash, Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
Yeah.
So it's headlined with Slash, a big name, Slash, Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
Yeah, right.
So it's really bizarre. So, I mean, it's definitely Slash and Miles band. That's what it is. It's the combination of those two plus whoever's backing them up. And then Slash, hasn't been doing a whole lot otherwise. I mean, he went back on tour with Guns N' Roses for a while. I don't know if they're still doing that.
When I heard about that, I was amazed.
I was too.
Because I was like, I would have thought Slash would have want nothing to do with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But the bill must have been big enough.
Yeah, they just backed a whole money truck into his parking lot. And
well, the closest show to us was Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
So there was no way I was ever gonna see it. But which is unfortunate because even if I hate Axl Rose for the person he is, I would have still loved to seen Guns N' Roses. And with Axl Rose most likely not going to be skipping shows, it makes me more likely to go see them.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to see Slash, Miles Kennedy, and the Conspirators. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's the ideal circumstance to see Slash under, I think.
And give him like a 2 or 3 hour set.
Yeah.
Just let him go to town.
And they wouldn't have that much material because they only have 2 albums under them.
They have 2 albums, but he also plays Guns N' Roses stuff with them.
Okay.
And then Miles sings.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the idea of Guns N' Roses without Axl.
It's just like a good Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, exactly. It's Guns N' Roses, but better.
Yeah, it's really funny, actually.
Yeah. Did they ever get Duff in?
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, no, I that's one of those bands where it's like I gotta see Slash before he dies. I gotta see Rush if they come around again, which I'm guessing they will.
Our band teacher in high school saw Rush live.
I know. Last time when they came through, right before Neil Peart said I can't do it anymore, I wanted to go, and I'm like, no, I'm working, I can't. And then Neil Peart comes out and says, I can't do it anymore, and I was so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. And I guess my mom was upset too. She really wanted to see him, and I didn't think she was a huge Rush fan even.
Well.
Yeah. So that's you gotta see him when you can. And all the money in the world isn't gonna bring Neil Peart back to playing drums. It'll cripple him.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well,
this is completely unrelated. Did you see that when Yes got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they played Roundabout with Geddy Lee?
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like, yes.
That's awesome.
That's just...
I'm super against the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though.
You are?
Yeah, it's stupid.
I don't know enough about it to be for or against it. What's stupid about it?
It inducts people... It's so random. Like, who's going to go in this year? Like, there was Kiss. I think it took Kiss... If they are in, I think it took them like ages to get in. Just ages and ages and ages for no reason other than they didn't induct them.
Okay, that's weird.
So yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't go by anything off of them as far as like what they kind of decide.
I mean, I don't think they've even inducted Nickelback yet, and that's just not right.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah. What if it turns out they have? What if Nickelback are inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I mean, they're popular enough.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, no, I've had some complaints with when they've decided to induct people and who they've decided not to induct. It's like, why?
Yeah, I mean, like, Death Grips aren't even in there.
Exactly. Anyway.
All right.
As far as music goes, I think we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's most of the... I thought we wouldn't have a lot to talk about for music, but it's been most of the episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope you liked the little music talk. Do you have any video game talk? I don't really.
Dark Souls comes out in 4 days.
I should have known.
Yeah, no, Dark Souls. It's coming. It's coming soon. I'm so excited. I've been playing Darksiders. It's fun. Darksiders 1. I started playing Dead Rising, the first one. It's alright.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah. I've been continuing to play Stardew Valley on the Switch. I've got a lot of money. Not in real life, on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched any TV lately?
No.
I started watching a little bit of Key and Peele.
Nice.
It's alright.
I used to like Key and Peele when I was a kid, but I feel like all the sketches I rewatched as an adult, it's like I've kind of outgrown the humor.
Yeah, understandably. You know what I relate it to?
What?
It's like if college humor was all based around being black.
Yeah. It's very college humor.
Yeah. Which I thought was a super interesting comparison, just because of like how much it just makes me go like, wow, this is just like college humor. You can nearly identical.
Yeah, it's very similar. You can get a little bit of a chuckle out of their like college football pick videos. You know, remember those?
No.
Or it was just like a list of college students, and they all had like increasingly ridiculous names.
No, never
like Devarius King and oh god, what were they? I could see how many I could rattle off. Flaxen Waxen Jackson.
Oh, good. I mean, the only thing I actually remembered from Key and Peele from when I watched a couple episodes back in the day was A.A. Ron Bilake.
Yeah, A.A. Ron Bilake. They really liked making puns with names.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing with them.
There was a great one I saw a long time ago, and it took the style of wearing flat-billed hats and then keeping the stickers on the flat-billed hats and then keeping them in a bag and then keeping them... And it just got more ridiculous, and eventually it turned into a Chinese woman sitting on his head making the hat. And I laughed so hard. I thought that was so funny. They've
got some really good gags occasionally, but it's not what I consider like a really solid comedy show.
No.
It's there's occasional brilliance. It's not like Eric Andre where like it's pretty consistently funny.
Eric Andre is just ridiculous. Yeah. You have to be in the mood for that.
Oh yeah, right.
You know, I could flip on Key and Peele and just like
the fact that hours. Eric Andre shows episodes are like 10 minutes is genius because it's like when you're in the mood for it, you can binge it really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, Key and Peele I can throw on in the background, but Eric Andre, I have to be in the mood, otherwise it's not working.
Because it's like, if you're only paying half attention, you're going to get distracted a lot.
It's so stupid.
Because it's like you're just working and then you just hear somebody just like screeching like a dinosaur and you're like, what is...
Well, and it's such a ridiculous, stupid show. Like, not...
And there's a lot of detail to their sight gags.
There is.
There's an insane amount of detail to their sight gags, so you have to like pay attention.
So, I mean, you have to. Yeah. You have to.
Like there's episodes where like he's interviewing somebody and then just like in the background and like a naked man just like runs across the frame like in the corner of the frame and you like barely see it. And it's like, what? Did I just see that?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
It's really, really weird.
I don't know if I've said this, but I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Neato.
I think I brought it before. I like it. It got canceled and then it got picked up again by a different station, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Which, cool. Let's see, other TV? I really haven't been watching much TV lately.
Yeah.
I'm looking for more Let's Play YouTube channels. If you have any suggestions, email us at purplepandapodcast@gmail.com.
Shammy.
Shammy?
I think that's his name.
You know what? Text that to me.
It's not it's actually probably not what you're looking for.
That's fine. I'll look it up anyway.
I sent it to Discord. I just want to make sure it is Shammy. I don't think it is. Oh no, it is. It is. Shammy. Got a picture of an owl.
Okay.
And he just does game reviews, comical game analysis reviews.
That's not what I'm looking for, but I might have a fun time with it anyway.
I like him.
Donkey-esque?
Kind of. Not as over the top as Dunkey,
But
a little more
in
like
the same
a
vein.
little more like actually analytical, but in the same vein.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll probably look it up anyway.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know what else to talk about other than movies.
Yes.
What's your movie of the week,
My
Colin?
movie of the week is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Whoa!
And this is legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time, and I had forgotten that it was until I rewatched it with Movie Club recently.
That has Jimmy Buffett in it, right?
It does have Jimmy Buffett in it. It also has Cate Blanchett. And Colin Farrell, I believe.
And Bilbo.
Yeah. The Bilbo being the what's his name? Ian. No. That would have worked way better if I remembered the name of the Bilbo from the first trilogy, not the.
Oh, Ian Holmes.
Ian Holmes. Oh no! Wait, you mean Frodo? You said Bilbo, but you meant Frodo.
Yes,
That's
I said Bilbo. That's the joke.
For a second, I thought you meant Martin Freeman, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, no, Martin Freeman's not in this movie. What are you talking about? Okay, that didn't go well.
No, it didn't.
No, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind has got
The Hulk,
Mary Jane, Frodo, the Riddler, and
yeah, that's right. I forgot that exists.
so it's just a superhero movie, basically.
It is, essentially. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's but seriously though, it's a Charlie Kaufman written and directed. I don't know if he directed it. I'm pretty sure he wrote it though. It's very apparent that he wrote it when you watch it. He's the guy that did Being John Malkovich, and remind me, did you see that?
No.
Okay, if you like Eternal
I
Sunshine,
really want to see
really should see.
Yeah.
Because it's like Eternal Sunshine, but like not as restrained. Eternal Sunshine is pretty unhinged, but Being John Malkovich is on a whole nother level. The idea behind Eternal Sunshine, and the reason why it's probably my favorite romance movie, is it's set up like your average romance movie. Just Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's this kind of like down on his luck, kind of depressed guy, and he meets this like wacky, crazy, spontaneous girl played by Kate Winslet, and it's all going just like normal romantic comedy until he goes to her place of business and she doesn't remember him. And it turns out she paid a service to have him erased from her memory. And he spirals into depression and he goes to have her erased from his memory. But the procedure goes wrong and Jim Carrey is now trapped within his own memories and subconscious, trying to desperately cling on to the last remaining morsels of memory he has of her. And he's trying to fight the process. And so you see him trapped in his own mind as his own mind is deteriorating. And it's depressing and it's wondrous in a way. It's captivating in its fantasy elements, and it's really messed up if you really think about it. And it's funny, and it's dramatic, and it's scary. There are parts that are just like legit terrifying, and it's just a roller coaster, and it's one of the best movies I've seen ever. So it gets a solid recommendation from me. If you love like surreal psychological movies, this is just top of the heap. It's actually what introduced me to the concept of surrealism.
And a fantastic romance movie.
Yes. Also,
shout out to Movie Club.
Heck yeah. Which we're doing Romance Month currently. Well, not for long.
I mean, by the time this goes up, it'll probably be over.
Well, it's probably going up tomorrow unless I get distracted again.
Okay,
so.
Close to being over then.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because then there's my movie of the week.
What is your movie of the week?
My movie of the week is True Romance.
Oh, shout out to Movie Club.
Shout out to Movie Club.
This episode's brought to you by Movie Club.
All the episodes are brought to you by Movie Club.
Both of these movies have been shown in Movie Club this month.
Yeah. This one I made it to, and I watched, and I was like, I think I like this. I think I like this movie a lot.
Are you aware of who wrote it?
I am.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, I haven't seen True Romance, but even reading the quotes, because we were trying to find a good quote to showcase for the announcement post, even reading the quotes, I'm like, yeah, Tarantino wrote this. Yeah. It just has this very Tarantino feel to it, and
it really does. Yeah. I started watching this going like, it's a romance movie. I'm not super into romance. I don't know how this is gonna go down. And it just gets better and better the more I watched it. Like, I was thoroughly impressed by this movie.
Well, it's like, for me, the eye-opener is truly the fact that Tarantino wrote it. It's like, it's a romance movie. It's literally called True Romance, but hold on. Written by Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Like, and it feels like kind of like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Yeah. There's drug dealers, there's a lot of guns, there's a lot of shooting, there's a lot of violence. And it's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed myself watching this 2 times in the same day. Nice. It was really fun. So that's my movie of the week.
I really need to see that one.
I think you do. I was impressed. I was expecting kind of, just a romance movie.
Yeah.
But I got so much more. I got Elvis telling me to kill people.
Nice. I didn't realize this was the sequel to Bubba Hotep.
It is.
Has Bubba Hotep been our movie of the week yet?
No.
Well, look forward to next week where both of us choose Bubba Hotep.
Oh my god. Anyway, let's see. Movies. Let's cover the ones that I saw this week.
We've got
real
a
quick.
Big old one to talk about.
Yeah, we'll save that one for the end.
Yeah, okay.
So I watched True Romance. I liked it. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You. I thought it was okay. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, but it didn't feel like a movie that you had to. Otherwise, watch A24 Quest for the other movies I watched.
Yep, same here.
And I think that's about it for me.
I tried to watch... Our mystery movie was Silver Linings Playbook, as chosen by Wheel Justice, I believe, Zach. Mm-hmm. I tried to watch it, but my internet went out several times, and then I had to leave to go get food, like go get food from McDonald's. And so I got back, and I was already like, I missed so much of this movie, and I got back, and there's 13 minutes left, and it was just building up to the finale of the movie, and then my internet went out for the rest of it. So I'm not even gonna log it on Letterboxd, because I saw so little of it.
I like that movie.
I really liked what I saw, and I think I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, because I didn't realize what it was about. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just a standard, like, romance drama. I didn't realize it was about mental illness. I will say the mental illness in the movie didn't feel all that well portrayed, and it kind of bothered me, but it's not it's not the most atrocious portrayal of mental illness ever, but so I will give it a pass, because like it was entertaining enough, so I'm cool with it. But,
I remember liking that movie quite a bit when I first saw it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a while. Got any other movies?
Geez, I feel like I do.
I feel like I do too, but I can't think of anything.
I can't think. If I can't remember it, it's probably not worth mentioning.
Yeah. Alright, well then, let's hit the big one.
Yeah.
Hit the button, Colin.
Okay, we watched Fateful Findings again.
I hate you.
And it was really good.
God, I hate you so much.
No, Deadpool 2.
I hate you.
Deadpool 2... I've thought about it, and I've decided I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think the jokes were hit harder. I mean, of course, as was the issue of Deadpool 1, there's a lot of jokes that, like, don't hit, and it's kind of awkward when they don't, and it's like, he looks at the camera, and there's, like, supposed to be laughter, and our theater's dead silent. So... it's not perfect from a comedy standpoint. Sometimes it oversteps its bounds a little, but it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in the theater. I laughed like twice as much as I did during the first Deadpool. The action's better. I felt the action was particularly better shot, and it's a better shot movie all in all. It looks much nicer than the first Deadpool did. I loved the new side characters like.
Domino's awesome.
Domino's great. Gambit's really cool.
Gambit?
Oh, not Gambit. You know why I said that?
Why'd you say that? Is it just that?
I've got a poster on my wall that says
that
Deadpool v Gambit, and I've been looking at it this whole time. Cable. Sorry.
Cable, yeah.
Cable was really cool. Colossus? That's his name, right?
I like Colossus.
Colossus is funny, as always, as he's like the straight man to Deadpool's insanity. But now he's got another straight man, Cable, which means that Colossus also shows a comedic side a little bit in this movie.
Cable's not straight. He's just serious.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's the idea of a straight man. He's, like, completely serious, whereas Deadpool's just ridiculous and doesn't take anything seriously. And I feel like this movie took the fourth wall breaking element of Deadpool's character way farther than the first one did. There was a couple... Because I remember everybody lost their minds when Deadpool says... What timeline are we talking? Stewart or... Oh, gosh. I can't think of anything. Who's the other guy that plays Professor X? McAvoy. Stewart or McAvoy. I should just give up. But no, when he said that in the first Deadpool, everybody lost their minds because they're like, "Oh, it's meta, it's self-referential." But that's turned up to the extreme in this movie, to the point where Cable is talking about how he has limited fuel. He can only make like one trip to the present and one trip back to the future. And therefore, he can't do like this other thing and go back even further because he has to save fuel to get back. And then Deadpool literally looks at the camera and says, "Well, that's just bad writing." So there's a lot of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you like? I don't know what to say about it because it's like if you saw the trailer, like you know if it's the kind of thing you're like.
I liked it. I came out of the theater and I still stick with what I said. I feel like this is a solid continuation of the first movie. I think that, it's not like incredibly better and it's definitely not like horribly worse.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. It's a marked improvement.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like it's not like it revolutionized the series. It's just kind of more of the same but slightly better.
Yeah, I can see that. So, if you like the first one, definitely see this one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I almost want to, like, give a rundown of all the hilarious moments, but that would be kind of spoilery.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. One of the best moments in our theater, I'll give you guys this one, was when they said, I don't know, I don't exactly remember what the setup was, but they mentioned, a glory hole in the airport, the Minneapolis airport, and we're in Minnesota.
In Indianapolis.
Was it Indianapolis?
Yeah.
I thought they said Minneapolis.
I thought so too, but I'm pretty sure it's Indianapolis.
Well, because everyone in the theater lost their minds.
I think it was because he said glory hole.
No, I don't think so, because that's not inherently funny.
I don't know. You underestimate the amount of children going to see these movies.
I didn't see who was all in our theater, I guess, either, but... I don't know. I thought he said Minneapolis. That might be my bad. But anyway.
But no, the theater lost their minds.
Yeah, no.
It was a funny joke, so,
The theater did lose their minds. It was good.
Maybe it was Minneapolis. Maybe I'm just crazy.
Well, and I could be wrong too. I don't know.
The scene that I thought was, I think, the funniest scene for me, and I almost wanted to say it felt a little too manipulative because of the fan reactions to a certain scene in the first Deadpool. There's a scene in the first Deadpool where he gets a hand cut off and he gets a baby hand as a replacement. There's a scene similar to that in this, and they take that joke to the absolute extreme, and I was crying.
They give him a child penis. Alright?
Oh, they gave him little baby legs.
And a little baby penis.
And there's a lot of nuances to this scene that I'm not going to spoil, but look, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, okay, they just took the baby hand joke, but like gave him like baby legs, but I that didn't stop me from finding it absolutely hysterical. So if it's so funny that it just overrides my critical brain, I was like,
yeah.
The entire audience was just dying.
Well, yeah, they were.
I was dying. I was like I said, it made me cry. I was.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I've laughed so that makes the amount of times I've laughed so hard in the theater that I began to like tear up twice. And the first was Swiss Army Man, like the entire movie. So good on you, Deadpool. One of the funniest movie going experiences I've ever had.
Good job. I'm so excited for a third one, which hasn't been confirmed, but they're not going
there's
to.
Gonna be a third one, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited for this to continue. I know Ryan Reynolds has the passion behind it, and now he's getting actual funding, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Which they make a joke about in the movie. Oh, which was one of the best jokes of the entire movie, in my opinion.
That joke was funny because I did not see it coming.
No, I didn't either.
It happened, and
because they made it in the first one and nothing happened.
Right, exactly, and it's. Oh man, God, I so want to talk about. Okay, well, no, you know what we're talking about if you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
That part when he's talking about how empty the X-Men house is, I was like, the best kind of joke is like there's a lot of jokes that you just see coming in this, but that one just took me completely off guard. I was like, whoa,
that was a good one. That was a really good one. Oh, and Negasonic's awesome, and Yukio needs more character screen time.
Oh, yeah, Yukio is just adorable.
She's adorable, but there's nothing to her yet, which is unfortunate.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? I don't care. Here's
you don't have to care.
Here's what I get it. But, like, here's what I say about the Deadpool. Well, I don't say this, but just here's how I think about Deadpool. It's like, people are going to ask, how is the characterization? How accurate is it to the comics? Like, all these things that are often asked of superhero movies. And I feel like this being effectively a parody of superhero movies kind of negates the importance of these things, in my mind. Because it's kind of taking itself seriously in a couple scenes, but the whole movie is just making fun of the entire genre.
Yeah.
So, therefore, almost everything serves to be a parody. Mm-hmm. So, for me, these things just don't matter. Like,
I mean, if they want Yukio to be just cute, period, that's it, that's done, then I want more of it to make it sure that they drive that point home.
I certainly wouldn't mind more of it, but, you know.
But they just didn't have enough for me.
Like they've got a lot of stuff to juggle.
I know,
like,
they
there's
did.
There's a bunch going on.
That means in the third movie, if they're going to keep her, have more of her. is kind of what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
I loved Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I loved her in the first one. I loved her in this one, even though she had a major small part.
Yeah.
Majorly small part. She had a small part.
There was less Negasonic and there's less Colossus in this movie in favor of like the new characters.
Was there less Colossus?
I think so. I mean, like, at a certain point in the movie, he showed up, and I was like, oh, right, he's in there. Because it was all stuff with, like, Domino.
It did take a huge break with him.
There's all stuff about Domino, and my new favorite Fox Cinematic Universe character, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely the best written hero.
X-Force is finally a thing.
Yeah.
X-Force is finally coming.
Yeah.
It's finally here.
Yeah.
Terry Crews is in it.
Brad Pitt's the...
Brad Pitt is in it. Oh my god, yes. Seriously, if you don't go and watch this movie just for Brad Pitt, you're missing out.
Brad Pitt's cameo is literally the most hilarious thing.
Don't tell him. Just let him go watch it and see Brad Pitt
you'll
in
see,
his prime.
Yeah.
He does such a good job.
Yeah, no, he was such like, man, as far as characters are written, he was fantastic.
He was just solid.
Yeah, well, I would say he's more transparent, like
But
it is
solid, like solid, man, solid. You know, this rivals his job he did in like Inglourious Basterds.
Absolutely,
man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's integral.
His dialogue, it's a little wispy, but damn.
Yeah.
It's impactful.
He is clearly the best actor in this entire movie. Okay,
that's good.
Anyway, Deadpool 2, go check it out. Don't let us tell you what to do, but go watch it.
You know, some people say they could see right through the character, but I thought, dang, did he do a good job?
Oh man. Yeah, he rivaled like Vision, like honestly. Oh boy.
Jokes. Anyway, go see Deadpool 2. It's out in theaters. Theater near you. And then we'll be back next week.
I mean, that role, like, it wouldn't have worked with anybody else. I think it was just blind luck that they got him.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. All right.
I mean, God, I'm being as transparent here as I can be.
Yeah. I think that's effectively ruined the movie for everybody. They're like, come on. We get it.
Oh my God. It's so much fun, though.
Yeah. And this is why we won't be writing Deadpool 3.
What if Deadpool 3 is all just jokes about Deadpool 2?
Yeah.
They're just puns. It's great. Anyway, we'll see you in the next episode. If you have any comments, questions, and or suggestions for anything at all, leave us, an email at purplepandapodcast@gmail.com, and we will get back to you and read it on the next episode. And we'll see y'all in the next one, I guess.
Or we won't, maybe.
Or maybe not.
We won't see him.
I guess. I hate you. Go end it.
All right, we're
hit
gonna
the end button.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was we had a really good conversation about music, and then we just laughed about Deadpool 2 for 10 minutes and just ended it.